The asylum stood on a hill overlooking the city, decaying, forgotten. The windows were like vacant eyes. The wind howled through the broken panes. It sounded like screams. Inside, shadows danced. Dust and decay filled the air. The air grew cold as four friends approached. They dared each other to enter. They were teenagers. Invincible, or so they thought. The leader, Jake, grinned. He pushed open the creaking door. "They say he haunts this place," whispered Emily. Her eyes darted around. Shadows seemed to move. "The Candyman? Just a story," scoffed Jake. He stepped inside. The others followed, hesitantly. Mike, tall and muscular, chuckled nervously. "Yeah, a story to scare kids." "But what if it's true?" whispered Chloe. She hugged herself. Her voice trembled. Jake stopped before a dusty mirror. Its surface was cloudy, indistinct. The dare hung in the air, heavy, silent. Chloe shook her head. "No way, I'm not doing that." "Scared?" taunted Jake. He leaned closer to the mirror. His breath fogged the glass. "Candyman," he whispered. "Once." Mike laughed, a nervous laugh. "This is stupid." But he moved closer. Emily's eyes widened. "Jake, stop it, don't." Jake ignored her. He whispered the name again. "Candyman," twice. The air grew colder. A shiver ran down Emily's spine. "Candyman! Candyman!" Mike joined in. His voice trembled. 3 times, 4. The shadows in the mirror seemed to deepen, to writhe. Chloe covered her ears. "Stop it! Both of you, stop!" But Jake continued. His eyes were fixed on the mirror. A strange smile played on his lips. "Candyman." 5 times. Silence. Then a low hum filled the air, like 1,000 bees. The mirror began to glow, a sickly yellow light. The Hook. A figure emerged from the mirror. Tall, skeletal, a long black coat hung on his bones. His skin was stretched tight across his skull. His eyes glowed with an eerie light, and in place of his right hand was a hook. Rusty. Stained. A shriek escaped Emily's lips. Mike stumbled back, but Jake just stood there, mesmerized. The figure spoke. Its voice was a raspy whisper. "You called." Blood and bees. The air filled with bees, buzzing, swarming. They poured from the figure's mouth, from his eyes. A wave of horror washed over Chloe. She fainted, collapsing to the dusty floor. The figure turned to Mike. He raised his hook. Mike screamed. He tried to run, but the hook found its mark. It sank into his flesh. Blood splattered. Mike's screams were cut short. One by one, Emily backed away. Her eyes darted around, looking for an escape, but there was none. She was trapped. The figure turned its gaze on her. Its eyes glowed. He moved towards her, slowly, deliberately. "No!" she screamed. "Please, don't hurt me!" But the figure showed no mercy. The hook swung. Once, twice. Emily's screams echoed through the empty halls of the asylum. Final plea. Jake watched in horror as his friends were slaughtered. The reality of the situation crashed over him. The Candyman was real, and he was next. "I didn't mean it," Jake cried, dropping to his knees. "It was just a game. Please!" The Candyman only tilted his head, a grotesque parody of curiosity. Bees buzzed around Jake's head, their buzzing a symphony of impending doom. A bloody hook. The Candyman raised his hook. It glinted in the dim light, reflecting Jake's terrified face. He closed his eyes, waiting for the inevitable. He felt a sharp pain. Then, nothing. The Candyman vanished. The bees disappeared. Silence descended upon the asylum. Only the faint echo of screams remained and the lingering scent of blood and honey. The legend lives on. The abandoned asylum stood silent, a testament to the legend. The Candyman was real. He had claimed 3 more victims, and he would claim more, waiting, listening, for his name to be whispered 5 times. In the darkness, before a mirror, the legend lived on.